Have you ever felt like the more you show up, the more she disappears? You call. She takes hours to reply. You lean in. She pulls away. You pour out your heart, hoping to win her back, and all you get is silence. If you're a man over 50, divorced, maybe, or just dipping your toes back into dating, this can feel like quicksand. The harder you try, the faster you sink. But what if I told you? The most powerful move you can make is to stop chasing. Sounds backwards, right? But stay with me, because the moment you stop chasing, she feels it, and that changes everything. Let's slow this down and paint a picture. I want you to really feel this. It's a chilly Wednesday night. You're sitting across from her in the kitchen. The soft buzz of the fridge hums in the background. She's scrolling her phone, barely sipping the wine you poured. You ask, "Everything okay?" She says, "I'm just tired." But you know it's not just the day. It's something else, something between you that used to buzz like electricity but now feels like static. And in that moment, you feel like you're standing outside your own life, watching a woman you care about slowly drift and not knowing how to stop it. So what do most men do? We talk more, we explain, we send the long text, hoping she'll understand how much we care. But here's the truth. No one tells us. Chasing kills attraction. Now that might sound harsh, but let me explain why. It's not because you're too emotional. It's not because you care too much. It's because when your attention starts orbiting around her, when she becomes your sun and you become her shadow, she doesn't feel loved. She feels pressure. She doesn't feel connection or closeness. She feels responsible for your happiness. And here's the gut punch truth. No woman wants to be the emotional lifeline for a grown man, especially a woman in her 50s or 60s. She's been through stuff. She wants a partner, not a project. If that truth lands heavy, let it, because here comes the turn. Let me tell you a story, and this one's important, so lean in. David, 62, retired Marine, widowed for 8 years, met a woman at his church's community garden. She was sharp, fun, smart as a whip. Things moved. Fast dinners, late-night talks, weekends away. He hadn't felt that alive in years. Then, things cooled. Her texts got shorter. She got busy, so he did what many of us do. He leaned in harder, bought her flowers, called more, asked, "Is everything okay?" She said, "I just need a little space." And that's when David, Marine that he is, did something powerful. He stopped. Now don't confuse this with giving up. That night, David didn't call. He didn't text. He didn't reread messages or spiral into overthinking. He grilled a steak, watched the sunset, sat on his back porch with a glass of bourbon and let the silence settle. Next day, he hit the gym, cleaned his garage, took his grandson to breakfast. By the third day, she texted, "Hey, haven't heard from you. Everything okay?" He replied, "Yeah, just been good to myself." She texted back a heart emoji. She felt the shift. That right there, that's when the game changes, and it all comes down to energy. Because here's the truth. Women don't just listen to your words. They tune in to your energy. You can say all the right things, but if your energy says, "Please like me," or "You're my whole world," she feels it. And it triggers something ancient in her, not out of cruelty, out of wiring. She wants to feel your presence, your calm, your quiet confidence. When you chase, she feels like she's being hunted. When you lean back and stand tall, she feels like she just spotted a rare mountain lion, majestic, grounded, untouchable. She wants to come closer, carefully, on her terms. That's attraction. So how do you shift into that energy? Good question. This part is simple, but not always easy. First off, stop initiating for a bit. I'm not saying ghost her. I'm saying give her room to miss you. Let her curiosity bloom in the silence. That's where attraction grows, in space, not suffocation. Second, shift the focus back to you. This isn't a trick, it's a return. Wake up early, move your body, get outside, chop wood, metaphorically or literally. Call your brother, fix that old bike, Teach your grandson how to change a tire. Start. Doing the things that make you feel alive, not just useful. And third, connect to purpose, not performance. This isn't about getting her back. It's about standing back up. You're not performing anymore. You're remembering. You're remembering that your worth didn't come from her response. It came from how you showed up in your own life. That energy, that grounded masculine energy, it doesn't beg, it attracts. Now let's take it a step deeper, because when she does come back, and often she will, you want to make sure what you say next doesn't undo the inner strength you just rebuilt. This is where the right kind of compliment can be a quiet, emotional earthquake. Forget the tired lines. You're beautiful. You look great tonight. Safe, polite, instantly forgotten. Instead, try this. There's something about you tonight. I can't quite name it, but the whole room feels different. Now that lodges somewhere in her chest. It's not just a compliment, it's a mystery. It invites her to feel noticed in a way she hasn't been in years, for something deeper than looks. It says, you shift atmospheres, you have presence. And when you say it calmly, with a half smile, and then pivot to talking about the jazz band or the wine, you create a tension that lingers in her mind long after you've said goodnight. Want another one? Try this. Being around you, it feels like standing on the edge of something thrilling, not risky, not sexual, just thrilling. Why does this work? Because it reframes her from being the pursued to being the powerful. You're not just saying, I like you. You're saying, you move me. That kind of comment, delivered from a place of grounded stillness, makes her feel like she has impact, emotional gravity. And trust me, that's a whole lot more compelling than flattery. Here's one more. My personal favorite. Use it carefully. You have no idea how hard it is to be near you and not reach for your hand. Boom, that's not a line, that's a truth. It reveals longing, but it's wrapped in restraint. You're not making a move, you're making a confession. And that tension between restraint and emotion, that's where real connection is born. Because she doesn't just want to feel desired. She wants to feel like she has power over a man who usually has power over himself. That's the spark that keeps her replaying the moment long after it ends, not because you begged, but because you noticed her truthfully, bravely, and then you held back. You don't need to prove your worth. You need to return to it. Return to the man who could sit in silence and feel peace, not panic. Return to the man who knows that space isn't rejection. It's the proving ground for self-respect. Return to the man who stopped trying to be loved and started being love, because when that man shows up, she notices, and that's when everything starts to shift. Before we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a true story. My father was 73 when he met Ellen. She had silver hair braided down her back, a spark in her eye, and a laugh that made strangers turn their heads. They met volunteering at a literacy center. One day, I watched him hand her a copy of Hemingway and say, "Your mind could make an old story feel brand new." She smiled, blushed like a teenager, and tucked that book under her arm like it was a love letter. That sentence turned into dinners, dances, a backyard wedding under string lights, two people who believed love had passed them by, until it didn't. What changed? Nothing dramatic. Just presence, stillness, and words that felt honest, not rehearsed. It reminded me, age doesn't cool the fire. Neglect does. So if you're over 50 wondering if the best of love is behind you, it isn't. But the rules have changed, and when you understand them, you stop chasing, you start choosing, you start speaking with clarity and calm, and you become unforgettable. Stillness isn't weakness. It's power. It's the kind of power that doesn't shout. It doesn't chase. It doesn't explain itself. It just is. And that kind of energy, that's what draws people in. So if this hit something in you, if it made your chest tighten or your eyes sting just a bit, then say something. Drop a comment. Tell me what part of yourself you're bringing back. I read every one. And if you've got a brother, A friend, a son who's chasing love and forgetting his worth. Send this to him. Let's remind each other what real strength looks like. Not noise, not need, but presence. Quiet, solid, grounded presence. This is smart advice. 50. And you, my friend, you're not too old, you're just getting started. See you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay grounded, and never be forgettable.